Hi guys, Tim here, and welcome to this trip report. I'm in Sri Lanka, enjoying a holiday with my family, and on my way back home to Sydney. So why don't you join me on this A350-900? It's a 4-hour flight from Colombo to Singapore. This is check-in, as you can see. It's about 10 p.m. Flight leaves about 12 o'clock midnight. So come along. Just a regular procedure for most international airports. After checking, you go through immigration. Of course, you get siphoned straight through the duty-free, like in every other airport. Duty-free wasn't too bad, I suppose. Did its job, so to speak, and had everything you needed if you needed that extra gift before you get home. Like I always do, because I always forget. So after a bit of shopping, oh look, I love this idea. They divide the gate into business, economy, so when you board it's a lot easier. If you travel around Asia, you'd know that sometimes there's a bit of a language gap and everyone just jumps on board, and sometimes the people looking after the boarding procedure can't not stop the crowd, but essentially guide it to the right place. And beautiful next to a Sri Lankan A330. And let's jump on board. There you go. For the most part, this was a good flight. I think there are a few cutbacks which Singapore have made, and I don't think they make any apologies about it. They had to make some cutbacks like most airlines did. That's noticeable, but essentially didn't take away too much from the flight. But we'll talk about that a bit later. Okay, so let's have a look at the seat. It's your standard, pretty sure it's called the herringbone. I'll double check that, the configuration. It has everything you need in terms of your audio jacks, your electrical outlets. We'll go through the IFE in a minute. The bed, I thought, the lie flat bed was excellent. I mean, it's in context. Everything I say is in context. Of course, it's a plane and we're in a seat, so obviously it's not as nice as your bed at home, but certainly, given those dimensions, it served its purpose. So the flight was about 30% full, essentially. I love that little cubby hole there. Great little spot, I love that. It's one of my favourite little things about this business class seat. Of course, the ottoman, which connects when the seat slides down to make the bed. There's still sufficient space. Look, it's everything's contextual, but obviously, in terms of an aeroplane, that's how the seat is configured, and you can still get a great night's sleep. Look, if you are quite tall, you're going to struggle, but I could stretch out fully at 182 centimeters tall. So let's have a look at the entertainment. I'm just going to get the control out and we'll have a look at it soon. I'll take you to some of the seat features a bit later. Of course, I talked about before the jacks for your power sockets and other amenities you might need in terms of electrics. There is, even though it's quite a compact seat, well, I wouldn't say compact, it's a big seat compared to anyone else in the plane, but, the nature of what you get in that little cabin space is still quite compact. They do a good job of it, I think. The screen size is same as premium economy, so even though, it looks like it's bigger, it's because it's in a bigger background. I'm pretty sure the screen size is exactly the same, which means premium economy has a really big size. This was standard business class size, but if you watch my premium economy flight, you'll see that. Right, so Singapore Airlines, it has some of the best entertainment in the skies. I think Emirates probably just pipped them a little bit. Emirates was known for having the best, but you can't argue with you have 5,000 movies and this airline has 3,000. You never get in the realms of watching or needing that much choice anyway. I understand that the more choice you have, you'll meet the needs of more customers. I get that, but for the most part, if they're 1,000, I'll be happy rather than the crazy amounts they're having. But I didn't actually count, but I know that Singapore and from my previous flights, that Singapore and Emirates do have very good entertainment systems, IFEs as they're called, in-flight entertainment. They might have had a few cutbacks, but I don't think so. I didn't notice them. I certainly, I don't watch that many movies anyway or films on board. I like the box sets or short TV shows. I like to keep my entertainment stop-start. just like I'm walking around, but I'll keep the plane flying, so to speak. Right, so yeah, if you're bored of this, like I usually am, but I just do it just in case there are people who would like to just maybe see a little bit more. I don't take you through an extensive breakdown of this IFE, but most av geeks will get the hint. The noise cancelling earphones, love them. Great invention, great idea. Sometimes it gives me a headache because the pressure on the sides of my skull is so heavy, but that's a first world problem, like, you know. This was interesting. So I put the earphones to my sound so you can hear the distortion. I had a problem with the earphone; it just didn't connect to the sound system, so to speak. And any sound. I mean, they did fix it eventually, but yeah, I hope you can hear that. As I said, I love this cubby spot. It's my favourite spot. It's a great little, piece of storage. Again, nice and comfortable there, just to prove to you that it's not that tight at all. I got my slippers on, of course, and there's plenty of space. Look, I can cross my legs, and still there's space on either side to just twinkle them around. The drink service started with a short eat. Of course, prior to pandemic, it was, I think, something either mildly warm or something plated. But again, the first of the cutbacks, just a packet of almonds. It's fine. I'm guessing every airline has to go through this, but that was a noticed difference. Again, I'm being picky, but these are the small things you pay for, I suppose. Armrests. On either side, both are adjustable. Love my cognac. At least they had that, and they had their a quality level of spirit and liqueur. Chased it with some French sparkling water. Chase it again with some more water. You've got to keep hydrated on those flights. You need to keep hydrated as much as possible. Drink lots of water, especially with the pandemic going around. Here we go, another one. So usually, a type of salad, they would plate it on board. It'll be plated properly. The business class crew have been trained to plate these dishes, but of course, to minimise the hand touching, again, you can see the COVID influence. I'm guessing it'd be cheaper as well. It'll come directly from a factory or from a source, which might be cheaper always. I'm sure the salad was fine. It did have a name, and it was of some note, but I didn't enjoy it at all. I just don't like warm salads, so it had the mix of the cold leaves and the warm pumpkin, but yeah, it wasn't for me. Not to say the salad was a bad salad, it's just that particular salad I didn't like. Don't like quinoa either, really, but I gave it a good go. I'm sure my mother will be happy because I don't ever eat enough vegetables. Interesting. A vegetarian option. So there was a lot more vegetarian options. I mean, it's good to be so progressive and all the rest of it, but clear cutback. Okay, that's my previous regional flight, Singapore, Colombo. Before the pandemic, they had scallops, they had prawns, and they had grouper. So just fish, and some expensive product. As you can see, another cutback, but the food was tasty. There's no doubt about that. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you about there. It did taste good. Seat functions, as you can see. Pretty self-explanatory. but nice and easy as well. And all worked very well. Hate it when you get on a flight and one of the functions don't work. It does my head in. It's a real sore spot of mine when these things, especially when you pay a price. I think it's only fair. Yeah, look, I'm going to try and get those feet up quickly and film at the same time. There you go. Managed to do it at my old age. There's a bit of a gap there, but it does bridge. I'm just showing you. And I'll just bridge it up now. Flip the switch. There you go. Bed complete. You don't need to see me making it. And there we are. Look, after my meal, I want to show you by just the angle of the camera. A full lie flat. Both feet up. Not even crossed over. There's enough space down there. Going to smile. That's from my mother. She never says I smile enough. There you go. Very fake smile, but I think she gets the joke. Yep, but about 120 degrees. Getting ready for landing. Got to let your food digest, I suppose. Can't lie too flat. It's been a good trip to Sri Lanka. I missed that place. I really did. I got caught up in the terrorist attacks the previous time I was there with the Easter bombings. Had to go back. And of course, we are on approach to Singapore now. I really thank you guys for joining me. I've got a small little channel here, but I'll just slowly grow it. I enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm more than happy just to be non-monetized and just chug along. But if you feel like subscribing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye.